Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Crafty Poppet Crochet Podcast. My name is Asa Marie and I can be found on Facebook and Instagram as the Crafty Poppet. And yeah, this is a little place where I like to share with you all of my crafty goodness, crochet content, mostly all of the time. And all of the projects that I get up to, things like works in progress, finished objects, and maker plans. So standard format really. Only difference being to most other podcasts is that I really love to buy all of my yarn, mostly all of my yarn, like 99% of my yarn, from op shops here in Australia, as we call them, otherwise known as thrift stores in the US, and charity shops in the UK. Op stands for opportunity, and here in Australia we have quite a lot of them. It's very common, especially in regional towns and rural centres, for op shops to be the number one place to go for pretty much anything at a very good price. They're always well kept, well staffed, some more than others, but yeah. In my town, for instance, in Lismore, I have 9, so I'm very lucky with that. But yeah, anyway, as I was saying, I'm in Australia, I'm in Lismore in New South Wales. I have lived here for maybe 3 years, I'm not sure, together with my husband Duran, and I have been in Australia for 12 years after having migrated from the UK a long time ago. So all that being said, let's get into the crafty content. Today I've got some finished objects for you. I've got half objects, works in progress, and if I look down here, I'm just looking at my notes, I've got some maker plans and crochet alongs that I wanted to talk about, because that's all really exciting stuff, and I've got a ridiculous yarn haul to share with you all. So it's so exciting to be going through. Is that a handle that you can see? Oh no, it's a basket behind me. I thought it was the handle on this bag. Oh, yarn haul. I have a wonderful cup of tea in my giant narwhal mug that is as big as my head. Oh, almost. It's a pretty big mug. My husband got it for me especially for my podcast. That was the part where I really hoped I didn't slurp, and I didn't. I don't think. I hope. Tea is so good. Oh, alright, well. First things first, I finished my Blurshall. Yay! Oh, I'm in love with it. I wear it all the time, and it's fantastic. I think I was about 90% done with it in my first episode, which was back towards the middle of the year, I think, in about July. And then I had like a huge editing problem with my second episode that I did quite in quick succession to the first one, and I suffer with perfectionism, so I found it really difficult to let go and just not edit. But anyway, I just thought, you know what, I'm going to do away with that one. I'm going to film again and just move on. That's what I'm going to do. I'm working on my perfectionism, see? Here we go with my Blurshall. Oh look, the little endy bit's it's poking up. So I've done all of this with, not all of it. So I have 5 colours in here. There's a gradient moving through. It's a crescent-shaped shawl by Deanne Ramsey from Addy Day Designs. She is on Ravelry, you can purchase it there. It's a beautiful design. This is Hayden's baby in white, then in the baby pink, again in Paden, no, not Paden's, Shepherd's baby, 4-ply, in the white, in the pink, and then in the pink print. Can you see that? Lovely. Can you? I really don't know if that's coming up on the camera. Yes, you can. It's very subtle. It's got tones of lilac in it and light pink. That is one yarn that's like they call it the print. Okay, and so then the salmon-y colour is Paden's Big Baby. And then I went for the dark coral in the Shepherd Baby 4-ply again. I was going for the large size because you can do a couple of different sizes with this shawl. I was going for the large size and to do the 6 colours, but then I just put it on and I felt like it was big enough. It really was, it really is. I mean, seriously, it's enormous. It goes with my little Bambi jumper. Bambi jumper. It goes with everything. Surprisingly, these pinks go with absolutely everything. I'm really happy with it. Thank you, Deanne, for making it. I'm looking back here because this is my second finished object. Yay! I'll just get it. This is my vintage, 5-hour vintage jumper. And I'm in love with it. It is a close fitting garment. Little sleeves, which are just like a, it's not quite a cap sleeve, but it's on the way. So it makes it like not a tank and not a t-shirt. Yeah. And it's a really simple pattern. And I don't know if I can put that back now. I got it from this little book. It is a vintage needlework magazine, that's the word, and up here somewhere, second from the top, 5-hour vintage jumper, that's what I saw. And so I asked if I could look inside because she had it wrapped in a bag, and I wanted to see if it was going to be worth it because, vintage vintage magazines and things like that are always marked up almost ridiculously in some places in price, and so I wanted to find out. Oh, my face is blowing out now because of that cloudy sunlight. There we are. And so I managed to find the page, which has since become unstapled, and so that is the 5-hour vintage jumper. It's a really simple pattern. I was not being a very monogamous crafter while I did that, so I have no idea how long it took me. But from the look of it, I definitely think I could do it in 5 hours. I really think I could. So that was really fantastic. I'm very happy with that. So that's my 2 finished objects. I did have more since I last podcasted, obviously, because it's been like 3 months or something ridiculous like that since I podcasted. But I have given them all as gifts or commissions. I had 2 hats that I got commissioned to do from a lady at work, by a lady at work. One of the 2, by a lady at work. And she wanted the slouchy beanie by, what's her name? It's Jessica. I can't remember her last name. I'm sure it's Jessica. Yeah. And so she wanted one of those for herself and for her grandson. And so they had little matching beanies, and I thought that was really cute, and that went down really well. They were very well received. I might have some photos that I can put at the end of the video, just of me trying them on, so at least you can see. And I have, what was my other one? Oh, it was another hat that I made for my niece, who turned 13, and oh gosh, well that shows how long ago I podcasted, because her birthday was on the 4th of July. So there you go. A long time ago. Oh, excuse me while I just have a sip of tea. I'm not used to talking so much. So I don't think I need this right now. It's a little bit humid. That's the trouble. I look outside and see cloud, and still, even though I've been here for 12 years, if I see a grey day I think, oh, it's going to be cold, you know. Not necessarily. It's probably going to be humid. I still can't get it into my head. I mean, it's chilly because it's windy, but otherwise it's actually a bit humid, even though it's been raining quite a bit lately. And that doesn't work for me. Cloud means it's freezing. So that wraps up my finished objects. So I guess I'll just move swiftly on to my half objects, which I've got all nicely laid out over here. And actually, I'll start with this one because it's a nice segue from finishing the finished objects with my niece's hat, because I'm doing another one for my sister for her Christmas present. And so this is and I didn't even tell you the name. If I can remember it, for goodness sake, it is the Dragonfly Slouchy by Maria Bittner. There we are. And so the only thing I have left to do on this hat is to put a pom-pom on it and tuck in the tail. So I think, oh no, 2 tails. I'll pop that one so you can see. Oh. That wasn't very good. I look like Krusty the Clown now. Oh. And I don't know how well the camera is picking up the colour of this hat, but what I've done is, there you go, that's a better representation. Maybe if I make it dark. No, that's not doing anything. Ooh. But you can see all the colours, the soft pastel colours. That is coming from a skein of Payton's Baby Rainbow 4-ply. But I have held it triple with another skein of Payton's Baby 4-ply in lilac and another in white. And it has just given this beautiful, oh, back there, that was kind of, yeah, you can see a little, maybe there. Those colours. They're just so subtle and so nice. And I just thought that would be wonderful. So I wanted to make sure it was trendy. My sister's 9 years younger than me, so I've got to make sure it's cool. So there's that one, so that is coming along, and I just make my pom-poms, ooh, by dropping them apparently, 2 bits of card like that, and I wrap it until it's like bulging so that there's nothing left here, I can't get in there. And then I peel in between the 2 cards, and that's where I can pop the scissors and cut, and then I can go in between in the same spot and get the ends of the yarn that I tied there previously to tie it up in the middle in a nice safe knot. And you know, like, it's not even, I didn't even cut it even from this side to that, but no one's going to notice, are they? No one's going to come up to you and go, excuse me, the beanie that, you know, the pom-pom that you made for that hat is lopsided. No one is going to see or say anything, even if they do. So that goes over there, and then on the next one I have got I didn't find the magazine for it. I really wanted to find the magazine. Oh, but I can verbalise it. It's all good. I don't need to show you. It would be really good if you could see it though. I might just see if I can grab it, because it pertains to this pattern very, very much. Give me 1 sec. I found it right away. The next half object I have is what I'm calling my ultraviolet top, because I started it way back when the KCACY podcast, the Keep Calm and Carry Yarn podcast, were doing their ultraviolet crochet along, and I just never finished it in time because I kind of got a little bit annoyed with the pattern, and then what I decided to do with it as well, so it wasn't all the pattern's fault, but still, it sort of spent some time in the timeout zone, and it was this pattern on Simply Crochet, the one that she's wearing right there, issue number 58. I think, I don't have glasses, 58. And where is it? Maybe it's the one that I labelled. No, that's a completely different one. I'm organised in that way. Oh, for goodness sake. Here we are. You can tell by all the scribbles all over the page, oh my, that I had to number the rows. I've never had to number the rows on something before. That was a little frustrating, I'm not going to lie. So, if you would like to do the Best of Both top by Pat Strong from Simply Crochet, issue number 58, word of warning or just a strong suggestion, I think that really what you should do straight away is go in and number all of the rows, because it starts off with row 1 and row 2, and then it just says, oh, a bug. It doesn't say, oh, a bug. And then it just says next row, next row, next row, next row, next row, and then guess what it says? Next row. At that point, I started to sort of go, hang on a moment, what if I want to walk away from this at some point and come back to it? How will I really know where I'm up to? And then I decided that, well, I wouldn't, And that some of these rows actually have very strange wording that would make it even more difficult to come back to. For example, I mean, you won't know where in the pattern this is, so I feel that it's okay to share this. For example, so it says, work a wrong side increase row followed by a right side increase row. Then it says, repeat the last 2 rows once more, work a plain row as row 2, followed by a right side increase row, do not turn. I'm not even sure, just reading that just then, how many rows I mentioned. So that's why I went back, well, not back, but through it, and kind of painstakingly numbered all of the rows so that I could come back to this and pick it up and put it down, because I just don't have all day to sit and crochet as much as I would like to pretend that I do. That being said, that is a technical issue. The pattern is fine. There were no mistakes. It is all perfect. And because it's a scoop neck, and you can see in this picture here that it does come down quite low, and she's got both tops on. She's got the long top and the short top, and that's why it's called Best of Both. And so if it's still that low when you're wearing 2 t-shirts, I thought I'm going to want to make one side higher than the other, so that just in case, because you make it sideways and you go like from the seams across you that way. I thought just in case I'm going to want to make one side higher, just in case I feel like it's too low, because I get to wear my own clothes to work, so I don't want to have an exposing moment if I was to lean over and pick something up. That would be embarrassing. And besides, I quite like the low backs that you can get on tops. I think that's quite a nice design. Yeah, so it's just unfortunate that it was set out like that. Because then, you know, I had to do the work for it, which took a couple of goes. I did it first in black pen, and then I went through and did it in blue pen because I realised I got some of it wrong, and then I went back and did it in purple pen because I realised I had some wrong still. So it took me 3 goes, and it was, you know, look, it was probably the better part of a couple of hours. I just felt like that was a little bit meh, would rather not have done that, but it did come out well. And so I have blocked these pieces. These have just to be seamed, and so you can see here I've got my higher side and my lower side, and so I did the cropped version. And then I realised it was really super cropped, and I thought that would be inappropriate. I can't do that. You know. So I thought I'll do an edging. So what I came up with was these squares. I like this square pattern, and I'm going to put those along the bottom. Can't hold it together. Oh, there we are. So I thought I could put those along the bottom, and I'll do 2 rows. That's why I'm trying to hold them like that, and it's going to be in between the length of the cropped top and the long top. Thing is, I don't like seaming things together. I don't like doing all of the squares. And that is why that is still sitting there. I want the top. It is going to be very warm soon here, and I will do it because I'm sort of grumbling and making an opinion before I've really done many squares. By that, you should hear that I have never done any squares. So I'm kind of saying that I don't like it before I've done it. I don't know why. Just down. Moving on. Next, half object. Am I still doing half object? Yeah, half object. This is the floral pouch. By Gossio. And that is literally the pouch. It is 4-ply green cotton. Like so. Around and around. A little bit of decreasing at the top to bring it in. And that is the closure, and that I think I'm going to do just about there. It doesn't have a strap in the pattern. I did mine in 4-ply. They wanted you to do it in, oh look, something much, much thinner. I feel like I did this in like a 3mm hook and they must have used a 2, something like that. I can't quite recall. And so my pouch is deeper, my doily is bigger. That would make a lovely snowflake design for Christmas, don't you think? I kind of want to do double-sided ones of these and sew them together like on a garland all the way along. I think that would be so pretty. I might do that. That would look really nice as like just a pouch bag. I think I'm going to do a really long strap coming up from one side to the other, and I think I will use it more than just a handheld thing. I've never been a clutch type of person. And then it'd be a really simple summer bag for just a little coin purse. Strange random hiccup. And a phone, set of keys. There you go. You don't want to be weighed down when it's 40 degrees outside in summer. Oh, and I've got to do the lining. But, I really need to learn to sew in a straight line on my sewing machine first. And I'm getting there with that as well, in that I have a project planned which is repeatedly straight lines, over and over and over again. So I'm going to try that, and then hopefully I will have learned how to do straight lines. My Loyola shawl is a half object, and that I still have to put it together. Oh, put it together. I mean to tuck in the tails. I still need to tuck in the tails. I'm procrastinating about this one really badly. And I did get it out last time. I don't think I'm going to get it out again because it is quite long and I've got quite a lot of other things to show you today. And I'm sure that no one really wants to be here for 2 hours. So if you want to see the open Loyola style, which is absolutely gorgeous. Oh look, that's not the attitude, is it? Here you are. It's really gorgeous. It goes into like a sunset in the middle. And there's green. Oh, look at them all together. And that's kind of what like this hat is like. It's just like a subtle lilac version of the Loyola style. And it's blue on the end, and you can wrap it around like that. And oh no, I don't want to do it like that, do I? Because it's so long. I want to do the loop Intro music. Do the loop and then do the plait. So you go over and under, and then on the other one you go under and over, under and over and through. Take your hair out of the way. I'm really liking that. I need to finish that. It's really nice, if I do say so myself. So I think that is all of my half objects. We made it to the end of the half objects. But then of course there's still works in progress, of which I have three. I have three. I left my vintage ripple blanket upstairs. Nuts. But I still have not done any more on my sweater bunny. There's his little legs. They're so cute. I've got to finish this because I just want to make it walk everywhere. And then his head. And so it's one of those ones where it's got a very large head and a tiny little body, and it's extremely sweet. So I really need to finish that. And then I have a purple I've only just started this last night, and there's a little nose and a little bit of a head in like a purple variegated yarn, but the transitions are very long, and so it comes out quite subtle, I think, which I like. I don't like it when the yarns are too busy and sudden. I like that this is from all the same sort of, it's harmonious colours. Yeah, it's not jagged or harsh. And so this is what I'm doing. It is Robin Unicorn from the book The Animal Friends of Peek-a-Pow. And I actually ended up coming to buy this book because, yeah, you can see that. Because Booktopia here in Australia decided that they would tell me that my order had been sent when in fact it hasn't. The book wasn't even in their warehouse. They didn't even have it in stock. And so I said, alright, well I'll just change my order because I'm not going to get that book. And this was the only crochet book that they had that matched the price. Thought, I don't want to go through another rigmarole of not being able to get something because it costs more or less or something like that and they can't do anything. So I ended up getting that book. And it's really great. I love it. There's lots. I kind of want to do the frog. Look at the frog. Except I don't want to do him with pants on, and I just want to do him as just a frog. And I want to make his feet green like the rest of him. His pants are funny. Maybe I'll do the pants. And so it's going to, this unicorn is going to be for my niece, one of my niece's birthdays. It's her birthday on the 17th of October. And this is going to be the colour of the horn. That's not the horn, but yeah. And then, I don't know, I'll just show you the unicorn again so you can see what I'm talking about. And there it is. So you can see it's got brown hooves, it's got little wings. I'm not doing the wings. She's 5. And I just feel like it's just an extra thing for her to rip off by accident. And also I want to do a unicorn, not a pegacorn, which is a Pegasus and a unicorn, I've decided. And so I need to pick a colour for the mane and the tail. I'm probably not going to sew the cheek patches for the rosy cheeks, although it's very cute on a white one. And I'm probably not going to do the embroidery for that. That's an anchor, if you can see. So I just need to pick a colour for the hair. And I thought she would probably like pink, being the girl that the type of girl that she is. I think she would probably like pink, and I quite like those together. That's even nicer because it's less bright. It's a little toned down. Oh, that's very, very nice. I quite like that for her. I, on the other hand, am drawn to this periwinkle blue. Yeah, I mean you can tell, right, because I'm wearing it. I really like that, but I think for her, and it is her unicorn after all, for her I think I'll do this pink. That's what it's going to be. So I'm really enjoying this. It's really fun. The pattern is really well written. I haven't come across mistakes. The amigurumi seems to be addictive, so that can go in there now, and I think the blue can come out, so I'm not going to do that. Alright, so that can go over here, and does that put us straight onto... I think that puts us straight onto the next thing, which is going to be maker plans and crochet alongs. Because I will show you my vintage ripple blanket next time, because it is upstairs and there is a lot of yarn over here that needs to be gotten through on this yarn haul show. I don't know what to call it. Alright, so maker plans. Okay, so in maker plans, I want to do My Sweet Socks by Caroline Rodriguez, which is who is Clarissa Beth's mum. So Clarissa Beth has the Crochet Cakes podcast and recently moved from the family home in Puerto Rico, and her mother Caroline has the Mind and Muse podcast, and still lives in Puerto Rico. I want to frog this shawl that I have started and turn it into my first pair of crochet socks. I like this shawl, I love this yarn. However, I'm not going to tell you who it's by or the name of it, because it was part of a mystery crochet along, and you can still go back and do that if you want to, because of the way that the designer has done all of the PDFs. So you can still go back and do that, and that there's no picture on the front, even though it's been over for more than a year. I just found out that through looking at the pattern, I noticed that there were no decreases coming up. So I have done this part, and it's all done in 4 mini skeins, and so you just pick which one you want to do next, and then there's a new lace pattern. But then I noticed that there were no decreases coming up to go back the opposite direction, and I thought to myself, it's going to be asymmetric. And so then I looked it up to see people's projects, and it is an asymmetric shawl. And I don't like asymmetric shawls. They look hard to wear. I struggle with things that are not symmetrical. It bothers me on a just like a idiosyncratic level. Is that the word? Idiosyncratic. Like my own little personal weirdness is what I'm referring to. Like, you know, where I don't know, like Monica Geller from Friends has to have everything clean and things in certain places. I don't like things that aren't symmetrical. It's weird. Yeah, so I really like this yarn. It's so soft. It smells like sheep. It's absolutely beautiful. I have forgotten the name of it. I got it from Tasmania. It's my first ever hand-dyed yarn. I feel like it could be Starlight Studios, but I could be quite wrong. Could be Starlight Studios. Or Supernova. I feel like it could be Supernova Studios. I will put it in the description box, and I will put all of the colourways, the other colourways that I haven't used. That one. It's got the flecks of green. And so that one is weird. That one is Wisteria. That one is... This is the one that I can't remember. And then this one was Antique Mauve. And that is going to coincide nicely, and I actually decided that I wanted to do my sweet socks before I found out about the sock crochet along that is happening through the Crochet Circle podcast and Crochet Cakes. There's a big blog hop. I have yet to go and investigate and look into it, but I'm really looking forward to finding out more about that. It also, what is going on with that hairdo? Oh, this hair, I tell you what, it's got a mind of its own. It's like its own entity. It doesn't, I can't do anything with it. It's just doing what it does. Yeah, it coincides quite nicely with the Simply Sock Along that is being held by Ali from the Little Drops of Wonderful podcast, and she is doing a crochet along where you can only crochet on your socks while you watch the, is it called Strictly Come Dancing in the UK? I don't know. And I don't know what the Australian version would be either, or when that comes out. If you know, if it's already on, please tell me in the comments below, what is the Australian version of Strictly Come Dancing? And is it on? When does it start? When is it on? And during the week? On what night? At what time? Please, thank you. But I reason, because she does encourage rule bending, I reason that I can work on those socks because I am, whenever I want, because I am double dipping into the My Sweet Socks crochet along. Well, it's not the My Sweet Socks crochet along, but Caroline is having an extra competition with the sock along competition that crochet cakes. Oh, right, sorry about that. My camera started beeping at me. Then I realised it wasn't recording, and what had happened was it had run out of space on the memory card, because it's not a very big one, and I needed to do something about my wild hair. So I have absolutely no idea where I was up to, and now my hair's all weird and I feel like a doll. Jeez. You know those days when you use too much conditioner and it weighs your hair down, and I just feel like a different person. Don't need that on. So I have absolutely no idea where I was up to. So I think what I should do is see if I completed everything on my notes. Maker plans and crochet alongs. And so I was talking about the sock along. Then there's also there's a couple more crochet alongs, and yeah, they're really good ones. There's the Grocery Girls crochet along. I'm really excited that they're doing something around crochet. That's just really cool. And so you can just crochet whatever you want and submit that. So basically everything that I'm making, I'm gonna be, that's eligible, I'll submit. Then there's the Stashmas 2018 crochet along, held by the Corner of Craft podcast. Hannah runs that one, and her only condition is that all of your yarn that you use in your projects must have been purchased before the 1st of September this year. Yeah, so it has to be from Stash. There is a C2 C-along held by the Zines and Roger podcast, and obviously you have to do something C2C. I've never done that before, so I thought I might give it a go. I don't know what projects would be good for your very, very first go at C2C. If you've got any suggestions, that would be really welcome. Please pop them in the comments below. I'd be really curious to see. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about, I don't know, I've always been a bit intimidated by it or something, but people say it's easy. I don't know, is it? And then Hannah from the Cozy Cottage Crochet podcast is holding a nerd along. I am definitely nerdy about Harry Potter. I am a Ravenclaw. I have been sorted into my house on the Pottermore website, and my Patronus is a white swan. So I definitely qualify as a Harry Potter geek. So I am going to crochet the Luna Lovegood cardigan for that, because I think it fits in very nicely. And I've already got my beautiful lavender cotton. I think it's going to go very well. Then, in other plans, I would like to make it's a quilt, the High Tea Fusion quilt. And this is one of those hybrid quilts. I was saying earlier on that I've thought of a project to get me sewing in straight lines. Well, this is it. So you do, look at the pattern. It's not a good one. Let's not have it like that. There we are. There we go. Beautiful flowers. And so this piece of material was $4 from the op shop, and I calculated that I could get 40 squares of the size that I need from it, and I need 36 squares, so that's fantastic. Obviously I did the calculation on the spot very crudely, so I think that I'll probably be able to get more out of it if I need to. But still, that was enough for me, and I'm just going to do the squares out of just that. And I was thinking about something like this colour for the crochet that joins in. I quite like that. This is actually, it's not as bright as it's showing on screen, but I would like something that bright that is showing on screen. So what you can see I want, but that's not what this is. This is more of a biscuit colour, which is okay. It's just not quite as vibrant as I would like. And so you fill the squares with batting, not fill them with batting, sandwich batting in between the squares, and you sew them up, and then you sew into the edges so that you can crochet into the edges, and you crochet all of the squares together. So I'm going to do that because it looks really pretty and I want one. And so that is all of the maker plans. The next thing I'm going to do is actually, there's one more maker plan that I did get as part of my haul recently. I got this big bag full of things. So this is kind of yarn haul plus maker plans section now. I got this big bag from Lincraft recently. They had a 40% off sale, so of course I went along and spent some money. I think I bought 10. No, there were 9 balls of this beautiful teal colour, and that is coming out very true on camera, and it is absolutely gorgeous. It is Sullivan's mercerized cotton, and it's quite soft. The colourway is Air Force. I don't think our Air Force uniforms are this colour, so I'm not sure where they're going with that. I was having a play, and it comes out really nicely. That doesn't help. Yeah. I like the structure and the stitch definition. It's got a little drape, but not too much. I think that's going to be really nice for a couple of summer tops. So that's what all of these ones are. Get some of those out of the way so that we can look at the next thing. These are the colours that I bought. There's some cellophane in here, so there's going to be some crackling. I don't know if you can see it through them. Yeah, that's, and that's coming out pretty true as well. It's a beautiful peachy colour, but the label actually says apricot. I think apricot is more orange, because I think that you associate orange with apricot because of the dried apricots, the ones with the sulfur. Yeah. So I think of this as like a peachy sort of flesh tone, and it's going to go together with this lovely navy, and I'm going to do the Tannery Falls top. I cannot remember who that's by. It was in a Pom Pom Quarterly issue, and so they go together so nicely. Look at that colour. Colour. I love those two colours together, and I only needed 1 ball of each, this meterage, for a whole top. No, sorry, 2 balls of each, so I've got 2 more of those. Then I have these 3 colours, which are similar tones. Oh, that's for something different. I have these 2 colours, which are definitely similar tones. And it's just cotton. And that is going to be for the Ammonite hook case by Deirdre Ewis. I'm not sure how you pronounce your last name, Deirdre. I'm terribly sorry. It's UYS, so it's a little bit, it's not straightforward. And so then that was all that I got from, well, I did get some plain brown yarn, and this was going to be for the Cat-a-Day two tones. This is kind of like a taupe and this is kind of like a light mousy brown. And this is going to be for the Cat-a-Day mug cozy, and it is in a little, and it's a shape of a cat's face with cat ears pointing up. It's very cute, and that is going to be for my keep cup in the morning because I drink a long black coffee and it is very, very hot when I receive it, and often I have to stop just around the corner from the cafe and put it down for a moment and then I can carry on walking to work. So I'm going to make one of those and that should solve that issue. Oh my god, I've got yarn everywhere. But wait, there's more. Because I went to the op shop, and as I was saying, I do get a lot of yarn from the op shop. Because when they do things like that, and you get all of that for $7, seriously, I'm not lying, $7. And these are 25 gram balls. Let's see. Da-da-dum, da-da-da-dum. Shade 57, dye lot 4252. Peacock Crinkling. I have no idea what that is. It is 100% terylene, which is polyester. There is, it doesn't say. No. It doesn't say how much they weigh. It's very, very soft. Oh, it's absolutely beautiful. I really think they must be. Net weight is 8 grams. I don't remember imperial weights enough to know what that means. How many? Is drams before ounces? Is it so many grams to an ounce? And then ounces to a pound? I guess. Don't quote me on that. I will have a look at that and find out how much they weigh. But there must be, well, there's 6 and 7. And there's one in there, that's 8, and then 9 and 10 and 15, 18 of these. So that's, you know, it's at least a summer top. At least like a nice soft little, a loose crop top, because you wouldn't want polyester very close to your skin. But it, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to wobble the thing out. Just getting nervous that I've forgotten something, and I did forget something. It was my, oh, maybe I'm going to save that until next time, because then maybe that can be a finished object next time. You'll have a surprise. They did it again. All of that, yeah, look. It's clock eaten. Country 8 ply. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 skeins. 50 grams each for $15. See, 15. In a lovely blue. And it's wool. It's really gorgeous. I have a lot of this yarn, and you know what? If you were to buy this yarn at recommended retail price in the shop and see, look, it's wool, but there's no, this is the net test, people, there's no irritation whatsoever. It's great. So Australian wool, grown and spun in Australia, pure new wool, 96 metres or 105 yards. These cost $7 or $8 in the shop per skein. There's 8 here for $15. So that's that. And you know, like they do come in, the op shops do put them in these little things, but normally they're pretty good about opening it if there's like one thing in it that you want and you just wouldn't use the rest. They'll just rebag it for you. What they do for me, but maybe that's because I spend so much in the op shops. Don't know. They did it again. Another 4 in a different blue, and you know, $8. $8. And another lovely blue. This is a bit more of a royal blue. That's lovely. Oh, it's so nice and soft. It smells like sheep. Oh, isn't it such a comforting smell? Yeah. So there you go. And then, what did I do here? This one was a really good one because I immediately recognised the label, and I know that I already have the white version of this just up there. Although I've got to say this feels softer, but that's okay. Maybe the other one just was kept in different, the white one of this was just kept in different conditions. And so this is Payton's 100% Turbo All On, which is their old trademark for like acrylic yarn. It's their own brand of acrylic yarn, and it's moth proof, and you know, oh gosh, it's black, so I can't tell how many are in here, and there's one labelled, and that's this one. Yeah, and so I was really pleased to find that, because with the white one I started a shawl. I started the Key Largo lace wrap by Hannah Siegmund from the, sorry, there was a noise, the Cozy Cottage Crochet podcast. And then I just felt like it wasn't the right yarn for the project. It was coming out too stiff, so I wanted to use a lighter yarn and do lace weight. I didn't want to, that was more fingering, and it was just, I didn't like it. And of course, being acrylic, it wasn't going to block out very, very much, and I wanted a much nicer drape on that, so I stopped doing that. And so then, when she came out with the Falling Ivy shawl, yeah, I think that's what it's called, recently, I thought this would be perfect. So I think what I'm going to do is do it in black and the white that I have, and it's a semicircle shawl, so that you do it, and it has like you wouldn't be able to lay it out in a straight line. It would lay out in a circle, because that's how you would then, how it stays on. It's designed to stay on, and so that's a bit exciting. So I thought I'd do that in black, and the stripes will be in white, so that the leaves will be in the white that I have already. So, but the majority of it will be in this lovely soft black one. So that's what that is going to be. and there's one, two, three. Oh, there's another one. I mean, you know, they're always tangled, but you can never that much. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Got 9 of them for $6. So that's these, and it's so soft and fluffy. And these, oh, I dropped one, and that, and is that it? There's more. I went to another op shop. They don't use those strange bags. They do just stick a tag. No, that was down to $1. So soft and fluffy. Holiday fluffy, knits to 12 ply, 100% acrylic, and you get an unknown amount of meters, 50 grams. Yeah, it doesn't say. Made in South Africa. I don't see that anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a little bit, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. There's another one in there, and 8, and 8. So you know, $8, 8 balls, and it's all exactly the same colour and dye lot, which is fantastic. And then I found a couple of little skeins of baby yarn, which is amazingly soft, 4 ply. I don't even have a price on that, and I know that that op shop is one of those op shops that if it's not priced, they'll just be like, oh, you know, 25 cents, and they'll just do the prices on the spot. And so it can be really worth it to go to the op shops and check out what your options are. And then there were another 2 in a different brand, 50 cents on one, unpriced on, oh no, 50 cents each, there you go. That's pretty soft also, and that's a crepe yarn, nice white one there. And then I think I got 3 of these, I can't find the other one. This is a nice sort of mild, almost crepe yarn. It's Payton's Bluebell. So that would have been an old colour of Payton's Bluebell. And I quite like that, it's nice and subtle. I've got another one of that, so that would make 75 grams, yeah. And so now I have to try and fit it in my yarn wall, which is not going to happen. It's pretty terrible, really. I need to get some more storage space. But that is about everything that I've got to share with you today. So if you liked the video that you saw, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate your company. And if you would like to share the video, please feel free. Throw me a comment, say hello. I would love to get to know my viewers. I can't believe I have 18 subscribers from my first video. That's amazing. I even got a shout out. I couldn't believe that. That was just amazing. And I'm so thankful. Thank you all very much. You have all of my very first viewers. It means a lot that I'm doing this and that people are watching and liking it so much that they subscribe. I really appreciate it. Stay tuned for more, and until next time, stay crafty. Bye.